Hi, friends. I apologize for the delay. Nice to see everyone. Good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. Here to answer any questions. Thanks for holding on. Just finished a consultation, so thanks for your patience. I am gonna check if there's any good news for you here. So you may have seen we did publish a pre-recorded video on Sunday, and I'm sure you've heard of other attorneys talking about this. But this bill proposed by Senator Menendez from New Jersey and Representative Linda Sanchez from California, it's very comprehensive in terms of it's trying to include a lot of people that originally some of us were not thinking about. But on my wish list, actually, from I think last month, I had a video about my wish list to include removing the 3-year and a 10-year bar, and so that is actually included in this plan, in this proposal. Now, a lot of you have been asking, well, what happened? What about people who are, I have a F1 visa, student visa, or I'm here on H-1B, and can I apply for this proposal, this pathway? Unfortunately, you cannot. It has very explicit language that says people who are here currently on non-immigrant visa, valid visa, meaning you're not overstay, then you cannot apply for this pathway, the first or second tier. And I think they do that, of course, because if you're already here on a visa, they don't want to even more backlog the system, because there's already a pathway for people who have H-1B. You can apply for EB-3. But of course, everyone knows there's a huge backlog for people who are on applying through EB-3, file the petition for PERM. But also, another great point is that they've mentioned in this bill to reduce the visa backlog for the PERM and also for family-based adjustment for residency. They're increasing the allotment of visas. So they call it visas, but of course it ends up turning into physically a green card, the resident card. So you may be familiar with that. Okay, we got some questions. There's a lot to talk about, but I know some of y'all might have questions about the proposal. But if I'm not able to answer you on that, please check out our video from Sunday, a couple days ago, February 21st. And we're going to publish a video tomorrow talking about the second part, more detail about like what I talked about, the 3 and 10-year bar, that being removed. And there's a lot more. So let's go to Dinesh. Hi, Dinesh. You're from Nepal. Okay, nice to see you. Okay, your wife has a green card, and she's working in the U.S. for the last year as an ICU nurse. Okay, here's the second part of your question. For you and your 8-year-old son, so you're in Nepal, both of you. You submitted your DS-260 and waiting for a visa interview. Okay, how long do we have to wait for the interview? My friend, that is the $1 million question that really, honestly, none of us have the answer to. We are accepting potential clients for this type of situation, possibly to file a lawsuit against the State Department, the Department of State, because they have not gone through the process, open up for interviews. In general, yes, the consulates are open. They're just not, and they are having some interviews. Maybe not for every single consulate, but they are at least having emergency appointments. But even some of my cases that are not considered emergency appointment, they are processing for interview. They're just not, the government is just not publicly telling people this on the website. Really, because I think they're trying to control the flow right now. They may not have 100% of their staff available to process these interviews. So that could be one consideration. But ultimately, a majority of people are waiting for the interview, and there's no response from the State Department or the consulate. A lot of people that talk with us have a consultation. We ask, have you had any communication? Have you tried to email your consulate? And they just receive a generic response saying that because of the travel ban, that and the visa ban, saying that there's an effect on the labor market. We call that like a cop-out reason. They just relying on what President Trump signed. And so Dinesh, I'm sorry, I don't have that answer for you, but I hope I hope the proclamation itself, when it ends March 31st, that it won't be extended, or that President Biden will remove it. But it's already February 23rd, and he still hasn't removed it. So there is that possibility that he could just let it keep going until March 31st. But anyway, if you are interested in being part of a lawsuit against the State Department to get you an interview, please fill out the intake form in the description box. We look forward to discussing with you if this is a good opportunity for you to join. Okay, next question is from Gamini. Nice to see you. Okay, you are ready. You're in the U.S. for the last 7 years, and you have an asylum case in court. Okay, immigration court. Your next hearing is in August. Okay, the second part of your question. My final court date is next year, August. I'm qualified for this plan. So far, do you qualify? So far, it is. So far, it says, it doesn't say explicitly, right? But based on the information on the text, you can apply. Because you were here before January 1st, 2021. So far, that is the cutoff date, and so far that's a cutoff date. So far you can apply. So that's a good thing that your court hearing, sounds like your final court trial is next year, because this will give you time for this bill proposal to pass. Okay. So, and usually just like when DACA was approved through the Obama administration, we were able to, along with a bunch of other attorneys, were able to file a motion to court to dismiss your case from court. But then, because the judge would allow, because they're trying to get rid of the backlog within the court system as well. So that would be a great benefit. So of course, right now we can't. No lawyer can do that for you, because this proposal is only a proposal. I know a lot of people think that this could have been passed, but it has not been. It has not been passed yet. It's still very early in the negotiation. Actually, assuming there actually has not been a negotiation. It's just only been a proposal from the Democrats. Okay, so let me check something else here. Okay, but if you have any questions, go ahead. If you have any questions, go ahead and put in the comments. I'll get to you in a second. I'm going to check something real quick. Check some news for you. Okay. Okay, Chen, nice to see you again. One of my videos take 5 years to go from DACA to citizenship. Would actually be 3 years, not 5. Let me check on that, okay? Let me look at the text of the bill directly. Okay, so assuming, I can't remember, Chen, do you have DACA right now? I'm assuming you do, based on your question. Okay. Post that. Okay. Okay, DACA. Let me check that out for you. Okay. So yes, streamlined process for people who have DACA. And then, let's see. Let's verify how many years for you. I have a lot of things open on my screen, so. Okay, under the DREAM Act section, it says, okay, it looks like how long to be a resident. Yes, you're right. So I believe, I have to verify again, but I believe maybe one of my videos, I meant 5 years. For people with DACA, TPS, or farm worker, it takes 5 years to become a citizen. So I may have phrased that wrong, but yeah, 5 years to become a citizen. Otherwise, in general, it's 8-year path for people who are not have TPS, are not DACA recipient, or not a farm worker. So hopefully that helps correct what I said in a previous video. Okay, Monica, can you go back to the U.S. once the lawful LPS is approved? If I decide to visit, the Philippines, they are allowing people who have this status, to apply for advanced parole. Okay, so that's a good thing. Advanced parole is basically like travel permission. It's a separate application usually, at least for adjustment. If someone's applying to become a resident right now, there's no extra cost, no extra government cost to apply for advanced parole, the I-131 form. Now, it doesn't say specifically right now if it's going to be a separate cost if you're applying through the lawful prospective status. Okay, but it does allow travel outside the U.S. for LPS or LPI. Okay, Monica, so hopefully it helps. I know many people who are also from the Philippines that are in America right now have been here for a while, many years, and have not been able to see the family, so that's important. Hi, MD. Hi, sir. How are you? I have a question. I'm good, thank you. How are y'all doing? Okay, your question about asylum: is your case eligible for this Biden Amnesty? So I know many of y'all like to call it amnesty, but if you keep calling it amnesty, your conservative friends or your Republican conservative politicians won't agree to pass this bill. So please don't call it amnesty because that makes it sound like a free-for-all for everyone. There are a lot of restrictions here. It may not seem like it because it is expansive to help a lot of people, but there are still some restrictions here. Okay, so if you were MD, if you were here before January 1st, 2021, so far you would be eligible. Okay, you would qualify at least. Okay, so it's still early. We are having consultation with people. A lot of people the past month or so have been scheduling with us from YouTube. We do have a special offer for those who are watching on YouTube for a consultation, $99 for 30 minutes. If it's not through YouTube, we actually charge a little higher. So we wanted to provide a special offer to you. Okay, so thank you very much for watching and subscribing. Actually, on that note, if you're new to our channel, please subscribe down below and gently hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. It helps share our information, our video to more people. All right, Jurfried, hi attorney, nice to see you. What about if asylum pending? Okay, so you had the same question. Well, let's see your second comment. You have a work permit already and social, great, because you probably have the work permit. And then, but your case pending. Since you have the work permit, I mean, that makes me think you've been here before January 1st, 2021. So far, yes, you would qualify. But when I say qualify, I mean, it's conditional, right? You can't have certain crimes. That's what I mean, that it's still restrictive. It's not a free-for-all. If you have certain crimes, that's even more reason to speak with a lawyer to make sure that that you would still qualify. Because in some scenarios, they actually mention in the bill that if you have possession of marijuana and you have 2 of those, then they would allow that as an exception, and you can still apply for this kind of status. So that would be a good thing for you. Okay. So even though I tell some of y'all or some people I have to say, no, you don't qualify based on what they provided so far, then I'm sorry, but we want to provide as accurate information as possible. And thank you, Chan, for like our fan Chan. Thank you for correcting me. If I say something on accident, please correct me. I know that y'all are probably looking at this more often than I am because I have to do work still. But and we try to give you the information as soon as possible. We'll have the text. If you haven't found the bill itself, the text, we'll have it on our website later today. Okay, after the show, so you can read through it yourself. It's very long. It's 350 pages at least. So, hey, if you want to spend time reading it, it's good reading material. But if you're busy, no problem. That's why you're watching on this show, because we try to take care of that part for you. Okay, Tuma, nice to see you. Does anybody know how long it takes to get approved for CR1? Those who went through it, how long? Yes. So, Tuma, thanks for your question. We like to share. We want to be this channel to be a community. So if other people are able to answer the question, we greatly encourage it. Of course, if you accidentally provide a wrong answer, our team and myself will correct you. Okay. But in general, although we do promote a community-based channel, and we all, you can provide your own experience, but try not to provide legal advice, okay? Because we don't want people to rely on something on accident that was incorrect. So we'll do our best to correct it if necessary. But so don't be offended if we have to correct you. And I'm not offended if anyone corrects me, because we all need to have the accurate information. Okay, and also in terms of the community, we do have a Facebook group. Let me see if I can share that on the ticker here. This is the name of our Facebook group. Oh, shoot. This is the name of our Facebook group right there down below. Okay, if you want to join, so we can all share information with each other. Let me go back to comment. I realized I didn't really answer the question, Tuma. So how long does it take? I mean, CR1, so consular processing, the first step takes at least 5 to 8 months, the petition based on marriage. And that application is processing in the United States. That's really the government is just verifying that you're legally married. Some people that come to us and they thought before they were divorced from the first spouse, and they, I had for example, someone who is in the military, and they were abroad. They're in the military, so they're outside the U.S. and they're working for America, and they had their wife, now their ex-spouse, handle the divorce, and so they thought everything was done, but unfortunately, it turned out it was not completed. So that's the part where both sides have to communicate on the divorce case, and some people. So anyway, that's what the government is trying to figure out. Make sure that if you are divorced before, to make sure the timing is correct. In Texas, even if you didn't get married in Texas, but you get divorced in Texas, there's a 30-day waiting period after the divorce date, like signature by a judge on the order. Wait 30 more days, and then you can get remarried again. Okay. If it's a client that we help, or other attorneys help with a divorce, and we can let them know in advance, hey, please add a provision to waive the 30-day waiting period, because, especially with this Biden plan, people want to apply as soon as possible so they can help their family too. Then hopefully that makes sense. So that's the first part. That's 5 to 8 months just for the petition. And right now, because of the pandemic, right, we don't know when people can be scheduled for interviews. So that's why but normally we tell people at least 1 year, 2 months. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Okay, let me follow up. I know a lot of y'all have been waiting patiently. Let me follow up with Monica's, because you responded to my answer earlier. Okay. In order to go back to your country, where should I apply? I might be behind. Okay. Okay, Monica. So your first question, for those that are just now watching, your first question was, if you're applying for the lawful prospective status, LPS or LPI, according to the proposal, people who apply for that can also apply for advanced parole. Okay, if you do not have advanced parole, if you don't apply for it, I highly, highly do not recommend leaving America at all, because yes, this proposal does mention removing, deleting forever, or at least until the law changes again for some reason, getting rid of the 3-year and 10-year bar. So I think you said earlier that you were here for more than 1 year without status in America. That would be a 10-year bar, right? But my answer also has to be cautious, right? In case Republicans are saying, hey, we'll agree to this proposal, but we're going to keep the 3-year and 10-year bar, then you definitely need to have the advanced parole. Okay, that's very important. In any situation, you would need the advanced parole if you want to leave a country and come back. And no, in terms of your second part of your statement or question, will you be apprehended by USCIS because you're undocumented? Technically, not by USCIS. It would be a different agency, ICE, Immigration Custom Enforcement. Is basically like the police of immigration, or also at the airport when you travel back, by the Custom Border Protection, CBP. Okay, so they could put you in something called secondary inspection to review your case, but typically they do that for people most of the time, for people who have some kind of crime. That's why it depends on. This is a good moment for me to share with you. We do have several people that consult with us, because before and after they travel, I highly suggest consulting with an immigration attorney before you decide to travel, because certain crimes trigger in the system for customs agents, CBP agents. When you go through customs right at the airport, they'll check the system, and somehow that has a criminal history. And some crimes require you to go have your case be heard by an immigration judge. So really, the government's job is try to remove you from the country. You still have something called due process. They're not gonna, if they offer you to sign something like a quick deportation or release any kind of status you have, do not sign it. Okay. If you have advanced parole, they don't apprehend anyone. Okay. But of course, depending on the criminal situation. Where should you apply? It would be through uscis.gov, right? But right now, this is only a proposal, so nothing is set in stone. They do allow advanced parole for people who are applying for adjustment of status, but there is no such thing as lawful prospective status right now. It's only a proposal. Okay, so cannot apply for right now. Okay. Let's go back to VB. Giovanni, nice to see you, my friend. Do I think this bill will pass? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of benefits, right? There's several restrictions, but there's a lot of benefits. To be honest with you, I do think it will pass. Do I think everything will pass? I don't think everything will be included, but I do think it will pass, because I know some people said, look, they should have started with only DACA. There was already a DREAM Act proposed. It was already filed. So It's already that. This is more comprehensive. So there's different proposals introduced in the Congress. So I do think this is a really good proposal to start with, or to continue forward with, because it's like I hate to call it, like, make this parallel, but it's like going to a car dealership. Everyone should try to reduce the fee at the car dealership. That's normal. With attorneys, it's not like that. At least not with our law firm. We do have different payment options, but Giovanni, I do think it will pass. I just don't think it will include everything that we're hoping for. But this is a good opportunity for me to mention. We'll have on our website soon after this, different resources for you to contact your elected official. You can email them. They usually have on their website some kind of inquiry. Some people do, some may not, because some people don't want to hear from you. Worst case scenario, send them a letter to Washington, D.C., or their local office where you live. You need to let them know that this is very important. They're not going to ask you for your status. You don't have to tell them you're undocumented. Just tell them we'll provide we'll provide you a sample script so you know what to say. But of course, in this kind of situation, you don't want to tell them your status. Just tell them that you are a constituent, you live in their district, or they're, in the state, if it's a senator. So it's very important that people know that this immigration proposal is important to you, or you could just say, hey, it's for my family members, friends and family members. Okay, so hopefully that helps, Giovanni. Monica, you've been here since, to follow up with your earlier comment, you've been here since 2009 out of status. You've done 40 quarters of service. Okay. Oh, through VAWA, I see. If you have Monica, or anyone else, if you have any question about your specific case, please fill out an intake form down below, and our client advocate team will follow up with you to see if we can answer any questions or set you up for a formal consultation with myself or my other attorneys, okay, with our legal team. All right, so that link is down below. All right, MD, happy to answer your question as well. Monica, you had another question about on LPS that were deported in April 2017. So there is a section where it does allow for waivers. Okay, we're going to put on our website a summary of all the proposed benefits in this bill. Okay, so then you have everyone has a clear idea who can qualify. We'll probably have that ready by this evening, okay, on greencardguys.com. But in general, yes, there is a waiver available, Monica, according to this proposed plan. Okay, Cedro, I like that person who said so to tell me not only one, you've been living in the US for 21 years and no green card. Okay. Well, yeah, so far it sounds like you may qualify for this. Because you've been here before January 1st, 2021. Of course, we'll have to check your criminal background history. So, by the way, if some people don't remember, and because it's been so many years since maybe being arrested, or you just have really bad memory, it happens. But in that situation, you need to be upfront. Like, I can't remember. You need to be upfront with your lawyer. I can't remember if I had a certain crime or I've been arrested. I think I was arrested, but I can't remember where it was. I've had those situations before. So you want to submit an FBI background check. You don't need to hire a lawyer for that. You can do that now. We'll put the resource link on our website, or you can Google search it. But if you're already in the U.S. and you're just not sure about what arrest or criminal history you have, I think to pay FBI is $21 or $28, and you have to provide fingerprints. Okay, they don't check your status, but I know at UPS, if you go to ups.com, some local offices, not every office, but some local office do help you to take your fingerprints. They send it straight to FBI, I believe, just for extra cost. Because honestly, if you hire me to do it, We charge $4.99 to do it because it just takes us more time since we have to mail it out. Okay, unless we're trying to focus on the bigger cases. But if you need help with it, we'll take care of it for you. Okay, Tuma, you're welcome. Happy to help. Jerfred, thank you very much for your comments. That's a very kind comment. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing our information with your friends and family. You're right. I do recommend everyone to hire a lawyer, at least kind of have a consultation. Yes, the forms can be simple. Okay, I'm going to be upfront with that. It's not complicated. The form by itself, you know that. We have a lot of videos on tips. Lately it's a lot of my videos has been about the proposal. So pretty soon we're going to go back to sharing tips here and there, because everyone's budget is different. But of course, I recommend you hire a lawyer. It doesn't have to be me. We do represent people from all 50 states of America and across the world. But, it just depends on your comfort level. To be honest, we're not seeing anyone face to face because of the pandemic. And some, very, very few, but some lawyers are seeing people face to face. But we can do everything remotely with technology. But when you do consult with a lawyer, do this one thing for me. I really greatly appreciate it, and that is speak to a lawyer who only does immigration. Because there's some lawyers that do criminal law in whatever state they practice in, and immigration law. As you can tell from this channel, we only practice immigration law. Yes, I do help with divorce cases. That's for pro bono purposes, to help give back to the community for people who are a victim of domestic abuse, unfortunately to say. But in terms of my practice, it's only immigration, okay? We do collaborate with other attorneys that if you do need help with other type of areas of law, like a will, estate planning, or you have to sue someone or defend a lawsuit, those we collaborate and refer out to other lawyers within our a trusted network, small network of lawyers. So Jerfred, you're welcome. Happy to help. Hamad, how much time will it take to pass Biden's Citizenship Act? You're watching a live video. Thank you for watching a live video. How much time? Oh, this is another $1 million question. Given how American politics works and the process for any bill to pass, you would think, even things like preventing school shooting, that shouldn't take long. You would think, I have a 2-year-old. I'm sure some of you have children. Whether you're conservative or liberal, you would think you want to protect your children. So those kind of bills didn't pass the last couple years ago, and it's very surprising to me, right? Unfortunately, things that should seem common sense for Congress to pass, unfortunately, not everything is common sense to Congress, to politicians. And yes, there are some politicians who are lawyers, but a lot of the politicians actually are not lawyers. So they don't have, they don't understand what the consequences could be, or pro and positive or negative. So they don't know. But to answer your question directly, sorry, I kind of always go on a tangent to give you the context of my thoughts or my answer, but I think at the earliest it could be the summertime. Okay. But like I answered to our friend Giovanni, VB Giovanni, I don't think it's going to include everything. Okay. So I don't want to get your hopes up, but I'm only here to share the information accurately as possible based on what I've read. Okay. So, but of course, in my opinion, I hope everyone is included, as many people as possible. A lot of people are deserving of status. In fact, I think people should get a driver license, right? Even if you're not here legally, I think you should get a driver license. It makes life easier for everyone involved, especially if you get in a car accident on accident. Of course, on accident. So anyway, just little things. But those Republican politicians, they're still, some are still anti-immigration. Okay, so I gotta be upfront with you on that, because I've talked shared in other live videos. that there are, especially there's someone named Marsha Blackburn in Tennessee and some in Texas that that filed something like, to not allow any states to provide a driver license to any immigrant undocumented. So that's a concern for me. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like to be too many people like that. But she's doing what her voters want her to do. So talk to your elected politician and get them going on this. Hi, Seema. You're asking about F2A. Okay, let me check out the visa bulletin for you because you asked about that. A lot of people ask in that way, but I'm assuming you mean like what the visa bulletin says right now, not related to the Biden proposal or Menendez-Sanchez proposal. Okay, let me check that out. I'm pulling it up for you. Okay, F2A. So this is for a spouse and children of permanent resident. Right now, the visa bulletin shows the letter C. Okay, so it shows immediate relative. All right, so I'm sorry, not immediate relative, but it shows C, meaning you can apply now. Okay, it's still preference category. So there's a lot of things to consider, even though it shows C for F2A. Seema, have you already applied for filed your petition, I-130? Let me know, or fill out the intake form. By the way, friends, I do have to leave in about 5 minutes, but I'll try to answer your question. If I cannot answer your question and you notice that I haven't answered it, please comment again, because since this is a live show, it won't let me reply to live comments after the fact, after the show. Okay. And normally I do allow people to join our broadcast, to join the show, but I apologize. I forgot to share the link. So sorry, a lot of things are going on here. So Seema, yes, you can apply. I don't know what the specific question is about that, but it does show current on the visa bulletin. That's the only category that shows current for all countries. Okay. So yes, you can apply for adjustment of status, but there are several other things that an attorney can verify for you. So we're happy to answer those questions if you need our help. Okay. Hi, Ismail. And Ismail, you heard travel ban will be revoked before the end of the month. So before February, end of February, that would be great. I haven't seen anything about that, so I'm not going to speculate. And even if I check there's nothing on the State Department website, travel.state.gov, there's nothing there. They're not going to speculate. When it happens, it happens. So, but if I see anything, we'll definitely keep you updated. Because I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, because I know everyone's been waiting for this to be removed. Hopefully it will, but keep in mind, and Ismail, I don't remember what type of case you have, but if this ban is not removed for the travel or visa one, we are accepting clients to be part of a group of plaintiffs to sue the State Department to get you an interview sooner than later. There was a big case of at least 100 people that were approved for interview, but that required a lawsuit. So you may want to consider that depending on your budget. Okay. But don't worry, we'll keep you updated. Okay. If we find out something more concrete. If it's just a regular article, I tend to not share that if it's just speculation. It's not for sure. Hi, Kusuma Wati, nice to see you. Thanks for the question. Oh, you're granted withholding. Okay, you filed for asylum application 589, but you were granted withholding. You would like to know if you're eligible for the Biden proposal. It doesn't say that you would have to be, it doesn't have a restriction on people who are approved for withholding Actually, I don't believe so. I want to check that. I do remember seeing something about approved for refugee. Uh, let me see if I can check that real quick. I really don't want to provide inaccurate information. Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, it says. Huh. Okay, I thought I could find it. I'm trying to look through the bill real quick, doing control find for you. I do remember seeing, at least for people who are like refugees, approved for that, or asylees with actual asylum, granted asylum, at least, cannot apply for this. Cannot apply for this proposal. But I didn't see anything about withholding or removal, because that is different technically. So if I find that, fill out the intake form below, okay? And we'll try to follow up with you on that. Okay. Lumba Baba, I like your name. As I mentioned earlier, still no concrete removal of the presidential proclamation that President Trump signed last year. There's still no official word, okay? Until, in fact, you know what? I will check the White House.gov website. Let's see, that is really the first source of information. I like to share where I get my information, so that in case you want to check me, do it. Go check the website. This is straight from the White House. The last proclamation was about in February 22nd. So that was yesterday, actually. That was about remembering Americans lost to COVID. And so, yeah, so far, nothing about removing the proclamation. And the White House website won't say anything about speculation that we're going to think about doing this. That would come from a traditional news source, I suppose. So anyway, hopefully that answers the question for now. But we would definitely let you know as soon as he signs it. Okay, we will let you know. In fact, we might not even be able to schedule a live show. We'll just go straight live when it happens. Okay. Let's see here. Can I please clear the asylum cases pending? I wish there was. I think what you mean, maybe Dayaka Kaba. I don't really understand your question, but I think it means what you're trying to ask is if there's a way to expedite your asylum case. If in this situation, I don't recommend trying to expedite it unless, of course, everyone wants status sooner than later, but if you are eligible possibly for this Biden proposal, it's better to wait, but so I wouldn't, there's really no way to expedite a case. If anyone tells you that, that's not correct. That's wrong. There's something called premium processing, but that costs a lot. That's at least, last I checked, depending on the type of case, it's either $1,400, $1,400 US, or $2,500, depending on the type of application. But those are for employment-based applications. That's not for family-based. Really, if the government wants to make money, honestly, they should charge more, right? For our law firm, by the way, we do charge a little higher fee for people that want their application filed in the first week, okay? Because a lot of law firms are backlogged and they just don't control their case flow. But that's what we do. We control the case flow by asking those that have have the financial means, that if they want to file their case sooner, we just, within that same week of hiring us, that is possible. Number one, we need all the evidence that we asked for. Number two, we do charge a higher fee. So it just depends on you. Otherwise, I cannot promise to everyone, hey, if like 150 people sign up in 1 week, of course, I can't file for everyone in the same week. That's just not possible. No law firm can do that. That's just not accurate. If they're doing, unless they hire a lot more people. But if they hire a lot more people, they got to charge you more. So what we try to do is we just be honest with you. We could tell you we could get it. We normally try to get it done in 2 weeks, but if you want it done in the same week, I understand, because you want your case started as soon as possible. But before everyone files their case, we do offer that for a little higher. Okay. I don't know why I went on that tangent. I kind of answered your question. Oh, because of backlog. Gerfred. By the way, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but if I'm not saying correctly, please let me know. Do we have to cancel the asylum case if the bill is passed? I would not touch your asylum case application, not yet, even when the bill passes, okay? I would wait until, so there's, at least right now, there's no requirement to withdraw or get rid of cancel your asylum application, not in the proposal, okay? What I'd like to do is get you through to the interview and then tell the USCIS officer that we like to withdraw the asylum case application, or you could do it by mail. Depends on your time, but I recommend not to touch it, okay? Even when the Biden plan passes. Hi, Samuel. Nice to see you. Sahil Tanha. You may have been, if you weren't on the show earlier, still no news about PP 10014 or the 52. But your question, also your follow-up question is, any good news about DS-260? Have you been able to submit it online? Because you should be able to at least do that first or after your petition is approved, as long as you have the case number from NVC, National Visa Center. It starts with three letters and, of course, a bunch of numbers after that. So you're waiting for an email from KCC. Okay, so so it sounds like you didn't get the case number then. Okay, well, so, fill out intake form down below. Okay, we'll try it. We'll share what we do. By the way, we share free guides that have like the estimated timeline, all the steps. I know a lot of y'all just check online and do a random Google search. If you need a free guide of the steps, fill out the intake form and let us know which one you're looking for, and we will email it to you. Okay. We always update it every year in case something changes in terms of like the estimated processing time. Of course, it might not be accurate by the time I send it to you, but we try to update it. Okay. Sahil. Okay. Back to Sahil. You had a question about the travel ban. My wife, she's pregnant. Congratulations, Sahil. Congratulations to your wife being pregnant. Let's see here. Can you ask for exemption? That's possible. That's possible. It's very, very limited. So fill out the intake form down below, and we'll verify those exemptions with you directly. Okay. Or our client advocate team will contact you. So fill out the form down below, please. Okay, love the name. Is an extra. I think I missed the first part of your question. I see you have a second. Extra thing, the same thing as a birth certificate for your husband. Your husband's in Haiti, and he have an extra for his documents as a birth certificate. I don't know what you mean by that. He has an extra birth certificate, or extract. Are you talking about like birth certificate summary extract? So typically, the Trump administration before, at least, they were cracking down on the birth certificates. At least there has to be, because I know at least in Mexico, they have a system online where you can literally type in your name or someone else's name and see if the birth certificate was registered. So it first has to be registered with the Haitian government, for example. So I think that could be what you're kind of asking about. Okay, but let's go to your second question, love. If you have a green card, do you have to apply for employment authorization to work in the U.S.? No, you do not. You do not have to. Once you have the green card, well, let me go a step back. Let's say you're applying for a marriage-based residency, okay, adjustment of status. You can apply for work. You have to apply for a work permit. For us, We apply all those forms at the same time. Then we send it at the same time, okay, to the government, USCIS. So then it takes about 2 months on average, because of pandemic. Sometimes it could take 3 months later just to get the appointment for the biometrics. So take your fingerprints, okay, so the government can check your criminal background history. But regardless of that, 100% of my clients, at least, have been approved for the work permit, okay? So that work permit arrives to your mailbox after the biometrics, okay? That always happens that way. It's never been the other way around, okay? But to answer your question directly, after you get the green card, do you need the work permit anymore? Do you need to apply for it? No, you don't. Thank goodness, okay? You do not have to have 2 separate cards. Okay, Jatin, any updates regarding F3? I think I still have the visa bulletin chart up here. F3, if you're asking where it's at right now, I don't know which country you're from, but most of them right now, in general, China is July 2008, India, July 2008, Mexico, September 1996, that's ridiculous. And Philippines, March 2002. I mean, they're all ridiculous wait times. In all other countries, July 2008. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, Sam, you DV. Okay, Sam, you got the DV. When we'll start sending email for the interview? Okay. I don't know exactly, to be honest. It has to be soon because I just saw yesterday they had an announcement. The judge, I think Judge Amit. Let me see if I can go back. I know I emailed my assistant about this the other day or yesterday. Let's see here. Because I know some of y'all have been asking this question. Okay. I think it could be this one. No. Okay. I can't find it right now, but if you're, oh goodness, there's so many news going on in immigration, so my screen is flooded with news here. Okay, you're not part of the DV 2020, so that part is not a concern for you. Okay, 2021. I would just check your email every day. I don't know exactly how soon they would send you an email. Okay, sorry, I'm not able to answer that, Sam. I wish I knew. But usually for DV cases, we help for the adjustment of status after you come into the U.S. Okay, so we don't typically help with a DV, right? Because it's in the beginning, because it's a lottery based anyway. Okay, Ismail, you are a green card holder, resident holder in Florida. Oh my, I bet the weather is really nice over there in Florida. I wish I was there last week since we were out of power and water. Your wife and son are 21. They're waiting for an interview in Jordan. This news I heard from immigration attorney, the travel ban will revoke. Okay, that's good. I mean, that's good to hear if other attorneys have the information. Once we have that accurate information, I will share that in the post. By the way, I went over 1,000 subscribers earlier this month. Now we're almost at 2,000. So that YouTube is allowing me to share updates with you by kind of like Facebook in a way that we can post something. I'm sure you saw that with other attorneys can do that. So we can provide some information like that. But if you want it directly to your email inbox, please fill out intake form down below. Okay. I will definitely check about that travel ban. But hey, if you watched earlier, I did go to the White House Gov website, and it didn't say anything. So I prefer to share it as it's being signed. I don't like to speculate. Jewel, nice to see you, my friend from Jamaica. Yogesh, what do I think? 11 million undocumented will get a path. You know what? I'm really hopeful. It's been 34 years at least since the past major immigration reform since President Reagan. So it needs to be done. I know we don't have 60 Democrat senators. We have 51 or 50 plus tiebreaker with Kamala Harris. The American Rescue Plan was passed in the Senate, but it hasn't been signed with House. So there's some news that they say that the American Rescue Plan will be passed anyway by the House very soon. So if that happens, then unfortunately it won't be attached as a budget reconciliatory path, which only requires 51 votes. So we'll see how this goes. So at this point, I always want to just go with what the realistic situation is, and we'll probably need 60 votes. But that's what I just saw this morning about the American Rescue Plan. I think a pathway will happen. This proposal will pass. It just might not include everything. Okay. I'm hopeful, and I hope you are too. Keep praying, okay? But don't just pray. You need to contact your elected politician. That's why they're in office, to listen to you. Okay, we don't just vote just because blue or red, right? That's not the only reason. They still need to do something for the people living in America, not just U.S. citizens. Okay, but we'll have resources on how to contact them, how to figure out who your elected official is on our website. We'll get that completed, uploaded on our website, greencardguys.com. It's scrolling down below. We'll get that done tonight. Our team will do that. Okay. Jack 10, oh, you're from India. You got qualified March 2020. Okay. Oh, you're F3. Document qualified from India. Okay. Yeah, you still have to wait, because assuming you just got, if DQ in this situation, you mean that you just got your petition approved, or from National Visa Center. Well, first of all, your prior date has to be July 2008 or before that, okay, Jonathan? So hopefully that helps. Actually, it can be, yeah, you can be DQ'd, documented qualified before June 22nd, 2009 from India. There's two different charts, so I provided the other one earlier. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Okay, I definitely went over 5 minutes. I said that like 30 minutes ago. Bit two, so okay, I promise. I'm sorry, I will have to cut off at 1 hour because I need to get to a consultation. Bit two, let's see, your question here. Let's see here, just had to message my my team here real quick. Okay, you're under removing. I think you mean you have a removal case. Okay, we help with this. We're in Houston, Texas. We also personally serve, because of pandemic. Actually, we really are able to help a lot of people all across the country, because if it's a detained case, they're allowing people lawyers to appear by phone. But if you're not, well, you're not detained, but too. So non-detained don't have hearings right now. It's all postponed. So what should you do? I think you're asking, assuming the Biden proposal will actually pass, and I'm hopeful again. But right now you shouldn't do anything. But if it passes, then assuming you're qualified for it or eligible, then personally, I'm going to be filing a motion to dismiss for everyone. Dismiss from court for everyone who is qualified under this. But of course, for the government, they want to see that you're actually qualified. So we would have to provide a copy of the application filled out. So that, with that being said, we would need to charge appropriately for more of the work in advance. We do have 3 different payment options to help out the community. Okay, and we want to be flexible. Some lawyers want everything up front. You know, we do have payment plan every month, or we do have like pay up front and you get a reduced rate, and another option. Okay, so George. Oh, but going back to bit 2. Okay, so by the way, what should you do if you ever? By the way, free tip here: if you ever change your address and you have a lawyer, tell your lawyer, but also because you're telling your lawyer, because the lawyer is supposed to file a change of address form. But you also have to sign this form. Unfortunately, right now they have EOIR, the immigration court. They do have a new portal online database, but I don't believe last time I saw last week there wasn't a place for us to submit a change of address. So right now it's still a traditional paper. Even if you do not have a lawyer, you need to let the court know that you change your address. You don't want a situation that they change the hearing date, you didn't follow up, you didn't show up to hearing because maybe they bumped up your court date to be earlier and you didn't know about it. So it's very important to update the court. The form number, if you Google it or search online, is E33. E33. Okay, if you change your address. Hey, George, nice to see you. Thank you for your heart. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. It does take a lot of time out of my day from paying clients to update you, but I'm happy to do it. It's very important that everyone has the accurate information. Any update on 3 to 10 year bar waivers? Well, so there are waivers available. Are you asking in terms of the Biden plan? It's still there in the text. It's still early. I don't even know if they're negotiating yet, but I'm sure they are behind closed doors. But no one's going to publicly talk about it as much, at least on the Republican side right now, because they're focused on at least hopefully focused on the American Rescue Plan, the COVID relief plan or bill. But George, if you have a specific question about the 3 and 10 year bars, I'm not sure if you filled an intake form before, but if you haven't, if you have a more specific question, please fill out the intake form in the description box. Okay, Sam. Okay, I'm going to tell you after Sam, there's a last comment by Batar, and that has to be my last comment. So second to last comment right now, answering Sam. But please, if I have not answered your question, please fill out the intake form or leave a comment after the show so I can see it. Because if I can't, live shows won't let me see the past comment to reply to it. Okay, Sam, you entered U.S. in 2003 without documents, without a visa. You got married. Congratulations. You got 3 kids. Oldest 14. Congratulations. Oh, a teenager now. I can't imagine. I only have a 2-year-old, and if it's a lot of fun. But I'm sure I probably have a lot to learn from you as a parent. I have a lot to learn. Okay. Well, now I see your second comment. Okay, you got married, but now you're divorced. Okay, so what is the solution? Your oldest is 14. As you probably know, yes, you have to wait until at least the current process pathway. You have to wait until your child is over 21 as a U.S. citizen to file a petition as immediate relative. But if this plan passes, then you've been here way before January 1st, 2021. So that's a good thing at least. So far, Sam, you do have to wait until 6-7 years until your child turns 21. Okay. But about divorce, some people ask me, that does come to mind about people who are divorced and have to file to remove your conditions, 751 form. They do approve these cases, but you have to show documentation that you were in a legitimate, genuine, real marriage. Of course, you have 3 kids with Sam in this situation. You have 3 kids. So I'm not sure if you had a U.S. citizen spouse and he or she filed for you before, but for others, if you have a 751 case and you have to remove conditions and you're divorced, they will still approve it. You just have to provide the accurate documentation, the appropriate documentation. Hi, Jeriel Batar. Sorry, I mispronounced your name. How long does it take the Supreme Court make a decision for reviewing public charge? Oh my goodness, another $1 million question that I don't have the answer to. They do review hear cases from lawyers on both sides a couple times a year. But even when they hear the case, if there's no emergency situation, they usually provide a decision several months later. So I know that a lot of in the Biden administration on some of the cases, I believe maybe even the public charge, they've told the White House lawyers to not pursue, not even file any argument brief documentation in favor of what President Trump was trying to do. So that's a good start. So I don't really have the answer to your question exactly when that will happen. But Tara, I'm assuming that you're waiting to file your case so that you can avoid the public charge filling that out. If you are eligible for adjustment, contact our office and we can evaluate whether it's proper to file it now or wait, because we still don't know. I do know this. President Biden is obviously not like Trump. He's trying to do everything the right way. And he doesn't want to just signature of a pen, get rid of public charge, because just like Democrats file lawsuits, Republicans can file lawsuits and prolong the situation. So I think we're getting close to the situation, this decision, but I don't know the exact time frame, the timetable, okay? Samuel, thank you very much. God bless to you too. Thank you. And keep watching, okay? Okay, one more question. Okay, keep calm. Thanks for watching again. I remember your name. DreamHack section. Is the DreamHack section only for DACA recipients or for everyone under 18? Does that mean everyone under 18 gets a green card or no? It actually does have a section for people who are under 18, and that is, I have to check again. Let me see. Okay, let me see. I do remember there was a pathway to 18, but it's not even, I don't believe it was for a green card. I believe my video 2 days ago talked about people under 18 have a degree, high school diploma, and go straight to naturalization for citizenship, actually. So that was a huge benefit that I don't think any lawyer was expecting. So that's why if someone asked me that a couple of days before, I did not know that. So let's see here, or last week. High school. Okay, so that is for 3511 section. Again, I'm going to provide a copy of the text of this proposal on my website later tonight. Our tech team will take care of that. So, okay, so this is the last question, folks. If anyone's commenting now, I'm sorry. After this live show, please comment again so I can see your question, or fill out the intake form in the description box. But I have to go to my next set of consultations here. Okay, so yeah, right now it's saying you have someone who section 321, the proposed section 321, or in this bill is 3511, according to table of contents, you have to have graduated high school, okay? And what else does it say here? Okay, that's it. That's all you need. You can apply to become a citizen. There is another section for people who don't qualify for DACA right now, based because of the cutoff age, but they would have to show they've been in the military for 2 years, and they can apply for a green card from through that way under the DreamHack section. Okay, so I kind of gave you 2 answers in that situation, but under 18 or when you graduate, you can become a U.S. citizen. That's what it says in this proposal. I'm very surprised, but hey, we'll take it if it can get passed. Okay, keep calm, stay calm. Okay. Keep calm, everyone. And until next time, please continue wearing a mask. Please gently hit the like button and share our video with your friends. We greatly appreciate it. All right, everyone. Please take care now. We'll see you soon. Our next live show will be Friday or possibly earlier. Take care.